Hello YouTube. So ladies and gentlemen, this is your boy Hack17 back here with another video, and today we are taking our first step in the series mastering Microsoft Office applications. And the very first application that we're going to be covering in this very mini series is Microsoft Office Word. So what we shall be covering basically is going to be project driven, but before we do that, I'll be introducing you to the very fundamentals and terminologies, the basics, and that will get us started using Microsoft Office Word, and that will be covered in this very video. After that, we shall start on our first resume, our first project that is going to be building a professional resume, and I'll be building my own. I call upon you guys to follow along, customize whatever I'm doing, so that by the end of that project you have your own resume that you're proud of. The second project is going to be a cover letter. As you know, when you're applying for jobs, a resume only is not enough. Sometimes you're requested for a cover letter, and I'll be taking you through writing your cover letter using the current standard. And also, it's not just going to be a cover letter, but you're going to be adding some styling. So it really depends on the job that you're applying for. Some might not love these stylings on your application letter, but that will open you to whatever magical things that you can do in Word. The third application, the third project that we're going to be covering in this mini series is going to be a brochure for TechBrain's Computer Academy. So for this, the purpose of this very video is to cover the first item here, and without wasting any single minute, let's just dive right into it. So I don't want this to show up here, and here I am. Open Microsoft Office Word. I showed you how to do this in the last video. So hit on that Windows icon, come and scroll down a little bit until you see this folder here called Microsoft Office. It will be having the version of Microsoft Office that you're using, and also when you hit on it, they will list for you all these applications here. Come and select the one that you want. I want Microsoft Office Word, and when you click on it, you're greeted by this window. Right here on the left, you have the recent window, which shows you the recent works or projects that you've been working on using Microsoft Office Word. As you can see, some of my recent projects are here. On the right, you have all these templates and a blank document. You use a blank document in case you want to start from scratch and design everything on your own, which we're going to be using for this tutorial. But as you can see, you also have these other templates here that are already pre-built for you and designed. So in case you're looking for something, you want to design something like a party invitation, and maybe you don't have time and the skills required to design this from scratch, you can just click on this and customize it. Whatever text you're seeing here is editable. You can customize these templates to make it your very own. You're not limited to only the templates that are listed here. You can also search online for templates. For example, if I want a resume template for engineering, for example, you can just come and search it there, and if I hit that search icon, they'll give me all those templates that are there currently. For the purpose of this video, we are going to be using a blank document. So come and select that by clicking on it. When you click on the blank document, you're brought to this window, which will look like this. So I'm going to be introducing you to these parts here, the layout of Microsoft Word and the terminologies that are used. Up here in the left upper corner, you have what we call the quick access toolbar. Please watch my cursor. And this quick access toolbar, just as the name sounds, it just allows you to access most of the functions that you call to use oftenly when you're working with Word. And this is highly customizable. You can always add more functions to that quick access toolbar and also remove what you don't want. For example, if you want to add another function there, if you click on this little icon, come and select more commands. Assuming maybe I want to add cut function, I always cut stuff. click add and hit OK. As you can see, the add function has been added to my quick access toolbar, and I can always access it from there. For example, if I type something here, my test text, for example, I don't know why this is failing, and I highlight this, I can come here and cut it. It is gone. The same way, you can even add another function. Still come to commands and look for another function that you want. Maybe I want to add a table. I want it to be there because I always add tables. Click add and hit OK. You can always add a table from here. We are going to look at another way to do that when we start building the projects. The same way, you can remove a function if you don't want. Maybe, for example, you don't want your cut to be here. If you come to more commands still, select what you want to remove, for example the cut, and click remove, then hit OK. That cut function is no more. It has been removed from your quick access toolbar. Just below here, we have what we call the tabs. We have the home tab, the insert tab, the design tab, the page layout tab, the references tab, my links tab, review tab, and the view tab. All these are what we call the tabs. And all these tabs serve specific functions. When you click on the tab, you get what we call a ribbon. As you can see, when you click on the home tab, you get a home ribbon. The home ribbon, a ribbon is this whole thing that runs from here to the very left end up to the very right end here. So the different tabs have different ribbons, as you can see from inspection. A ribbon contains what we call the groups. So for the case of our home ribbon here, you can tell that it's having about 5 groups. A group is separated from another group by these vertical lines here. So our first group is called clipboard. Each group must have a name and runs from here up to this vertical line. The next group is called font group, runs from here up to here. The other group is called the paragraph group, from here up to here. Styles group from here, it's a little bit white, up to here. And the editing group is the last one right here. Again, the various ribbons and the various tabs, the different tabs have different groups. Some are very many. For example, the insert ribbon has all these groups here, and some are few. This one just has 2. These are groups. As you know what a group is from our English, a collection of stuff. So the groups here are a collection of functions. Some like calling these options or tools. I love calling them functions, maybe just because I'm coming from a programming background. It's just fine with me. So under the clipboard group, we have the format pointer function, the paste function, the cut function, the copy function. We are going to be looking at most of these as we get started building our projects. Under the font group, we have the bolding function, the italicizing function, underlining function, striking through, and all these other ones. Just like that for the rest of the groups. Sometimes the functions that belong to a group are very many, that they cannot be fit in this small space allocated for that group on the ribbon. So what happens? You may want to do something, or you may want to access a certain feature, but when you come to this, you click through all the tabs and ribbons and you're not seeing it. For example, if I wanted this cool name of mine here to be struck through by 2 lines, I know that the functions that do something related to that are under the font group. But if I look here, I'm not seeing the function that does exactly what I want to do. This is for bolding, as you can see. Let me increase this font size a little bit so that you guys can see what I'm doing. This is for italicizing and aligning. You can always undo these things just by clicking on that very function. Takes it back to where it was supposed to be. it was originally. There's this one for striking through, but it's only striking through once. I want 2 lines. So before you give up when you reach a point like this, and maybe think that the version of Word that you're using doesn't have that feature enabled, first click on this little guy here. Most of the groups have him. This little thing here in the right bottom corner is what we call the dialog launcher icon. So when you're looking for a certain feature or functionality and you're not seeing it in the group or in the functions that are listed here, click on this dialog launcher icon. They'll give you more options. As you can see, for the font group, we have very many options that were not listed. For example, even the one that I was looking for, the double strike through, is right here. If I click on this, they give me a preview of how it will look like, and I can judge whether this is what I was looking for or not. There are very many other options. You can even check these advanced options and change stuff here. You can play with this a little bit if you want to. So check out the others as well, the subscript, superscript, and stuff like that. I was only looking for double strike through, and I found it, so I can click OK. There are even text effects here, also setting as default, meaning if I set this as default, whatever text I'll be writing will be struck through twice. So if I hit OK, my beautiful name has been struck through twice, just as I wanted. To the right, to the very right here down, you have what we call the vertical scroll bar. As you can see, it's helping us scroll vertically, and this is helpful if in case the height of the document is way too is too tall that it cannot fit on the window you're using. You may need a scroll bar to help you scroll through those pages on that document. When I expand this little page here a little bit bigger, make it wider and wider, down here, again watch my cursor please. Down here I get what I call the horizontal scroll bar. This is what we call the horizontal scroll bar, and as the name suggests, it's for scrolling horizontally. I'll put this back to where I feel comfortable with it. There are very many reasons why you may want to do something like that, but we shall look at that later. Down here you have what the zoom control, and the zoom control is from this little subtraction sign to the addition sign here. It's controlled using this little bar. If you move this bar towards the subtraction sign, you're zooming out, and this makes whatever you have on that document smaller. There are many reasons why you may want to do something like this. Maybe you want to view what you're doing more clearly. Maybe another reason, I don't know. Don't always do that. And if I move this little bar again towards the plus sign, I'm doing the opposite. I'm increasing the size of everything on my document. Maybe because you want to view something more clearly, or you have some visual issues. Again, you may have very many reasons for doing something like that. So I'll put it back to where I feel comfortable. I think 100% is okay with me. Just to the left here, you have the views. We have the print layout view, which we are working with right now. We have the read mode view. If I click on this, you can see how that looks like. Go back to the print layout and also check out the web layout in case you want to. To the left bottom corner here, you have the word count. As you can see, you have a word count here. Also have the page counter. They're telling you have page 1, you're on page 1, but you have 2 pages. I mean, you're on page 1, but you have 1 page on the document. So if I come to the insert tab under the pages group, if I click on blank page, I get another page. And now they're telling me you're on page 2 of 2, meaning you're on the second page, but your document is having 2 pages. So if I click on the first one, as you can see, this is changing. They're now telling me on the first page of the 2 pages that you have. This white stuff here is a page in Microsoft Office Word. So This is where we type our stuff from here. You type whatever you want from here. And a collection of these pages makes up what we call a Microsoft Office document. So how do you save this? In case you've typed some stuff here, let's say example stuff here. The next thing I want to cover is this file tab here. If you click on it, you can save. You can add a new document. In case I click on this, you can still select another one, assuming I wanted to go with this template in this case. They're showing me what that looks like and some extra information. I hit create to create for me that as a new document. As you can see, guys, I can now come here and customize this, change the company name to what I want. I can make this maybe Tech Brains Computer Academy. As I told you, you can always customize this text to whatever you want. Dear recipient, the title, blah blah blah. It's an example, and we shall be building something like this in our next project. Actually, this is going to be the second project, the cover letter, where we are going to be building something like this from scratch. We're not going to use this template. So you can even put anything you want here. You can even remove this logo and put yours. That's not the purpose of this. So I want to close this. Do you want to save? I don't want to save this. I go back to my original document that we are working with. I want to go back to the file tab again. That was the new function here. What it does, it gives you a new document in case you want to open up another document, but you don't want to close this one again, reopen again. You can just go to that and select that. You can open an existing document. For example, if I had a document that I want to open, I can come here and open it. If I click on that, they'll give me all these recent in case I want to select from here, or I may want to go to the computer and pick it from somewhere else. So if I select something like Nanomax School of Technology, they'll open for me that document in Word, and then maybe I can do some extra editing and stuff like that. I don't want to do that. The point here, another thing that I want to talk about is to save. So we're talking about saving. So for the first time, when you hit save, it will force you to save as, because you have to give it a name. So if I hit save, the difference between save and save as is that save is for a document that you have already given a name and you have already saved, maybe you're just editing it. But if it's a blank, it's a new document, for example ours, it is given a default name, document 3. That one you cannot save it, but you have to save it as. So if you force yourself to save it, it will again force you to save it as before. But when you open a document that already has a name that you already saved, for example one of these ones, you can always save them just by pressing Ctrl S or even clicking save, because they already have a name, they already have space on the memory of the computer. So because this is a new document, I'll click on save as. You can come here and navigate to where you want to save your document. In case you want to put it on the desktop, you can select that, documents, or in case maybe you want to put somewhere but it's not listed here in the recent folders that you already saved your work. This is where I will save my work. It's either in the documents, in the desktop, or sometimes even the downloads, but this is rarely actually. So I always use documents and these other folders in the desktop, for example. In case you want to look at other options that you have, the other locations that you can save your work, you can click on browse, come here and choose wherever you want to put your work, and then you choose that. Let me go with desktop for now. I think I just want it to be on the desktop. So you give it a name. Let's call this Word 1, and you can save as a Word document, or if you click here, they give you more options. Sometimes I always like saving my work as PDFs just because I just like it that way. But you can leave it as a Word document for now. So if you hit save, my work is going to be saved. And as you can see, it's now given a new name, Word 1, instead of the other default name, which was document 3. What else do I need to talk about? This file tab, we can print. You can print that document. If you select print, they'll open for you some print configuration options here. Talk about the copies you want, the printer that you want to print from, select the pages, the format, and other stuff like that. You can always look at these options. You can also share. You can share to cloud. You can share to via your email. You can also post as a blog, also present online. These are the options here. Another thing that's so beautiful is exporting. You can export this as a PDF again. If you export this as a PDF to save it as a PDF, PDF is permanent document format, and also as XPS. You can as well change the file type and pick another type here, in case you don't want it to be saved as a document. Document files have the .doc extension, so in case you want another file type, you can come and select it from here. Close account and options. If you go to account, in case you signed in to Microsoft Office, you can even come here and change the office theme. This is a very beautiful feature. Right now we are using dark gray because I saved it like that, but I can change it to maybe white. Oh, you can see that. So if I change dark gray, you can see that. Let me go to white again. Okay, so if I go back, oh, you can see that, guys. It's now changed. Some of the things were blue, were gray. As you can see, even this bar at the bottom has changed the color. So you can customize how your Microsoft Office Word looks like from the account. You can change the theme here. So that's all about the layout and the different parts. And in the next videos, we are going to start working on our projects, and along the way we shall be working with most of these functions and these tabs, and I'll be explaining everything. So by the end of those projects, you should be able to work on anything in Microsoft Office Word and should be feeling comfortable. And also I call along you guys to code along, not code along, but follow along, customize whatever I'm doing, and that will help you gain the most out of my work, out of my presentations. And you can also finish up the series when you have your own resume, a professional cover letter, and also get some extra styling knowledge, mostly when it comes to Microsoft Office Word. So in the next videos, the next video actually is going to be starting on building our resume, and I think for now this is enough for the introduction. So that's all for this video, guys. In case you've got some value out of this video, please like the video, leave a comment in case you have any, and also consider subscribing in case you have not yet subscribed. It's really very important. Hit that bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content. It really helps us to grow as a channel, and whenever you like a video, it helps you to push it to other people. And also whenever you leave a comment, first of all, it gives us motivation to do more content like this for you guys, and also helps us improve the quality of the content that we give you out. So catch you guys in the next video. That's all for now. I wish you all the best.